Hello and welcome back, adventurers. My name is Linnea C., and I am the Director of Children's Services here at Lilybrook Counseling Services in Troy. We are on a 4-day adventure which is themed around practicing coping skills in a fantasy environment, and it is an example of what you would find in our Questing for Change program that is hosted here at Lilybrook Counseling Services. Uh, Yesterday, you managed to get through our um, trap of the gnome, which if you had not succeeded in mastering all of your senses and using all of them, you would have been trapped forever with a gnome who had some fairly evil plans for you. But as it was, you escaped and are now still in search of the lost treasure. This is your last day of your challenge, so I hope that you find your treasure today. Um, so, without further ado, let's start. So, you have stepped from the gnome's area, or the gnome's lair, we'll say, into a tunnel. And as you walk along the tunnel, you can see the glowworms continuing up this tunnel that's lighting it up. You can see that there are strange sorts of mushrooms and crystals growing along the sides of the tunnel. You and your adventuring party continue on. Your torches are flickering. They may not last until the end of the tunnel, and you hope that they will, otherwise you will be in the dark. Um, you continue walking quietly but quickly through um, the long tunnel that leads past several closed off areas that look like a rockfall had happened that you can't access, and so you continue to go. Every now and then you hear the scurry of a rat or maybe a bat flying by you, um, or other small furry creature feet running by in the near darkness. As you start to go near the end of the tunnel, you start to notice that the floor starts to go up and up and up until you enter a shallow room that's lower than the other rooms. Not low enough that you can't stand up, but the doorway is low enough that you have to duck and come up on the other side. The other side is a room that is big enough to stand in, but not much bigger than that. And as you look around, you realize, as your light hits little sparks in the darkness, that it is full of mirrors. There are large mirrors and small mirrors. There are round mirrors and square mirrors. There are mirrors that stand on the floor and mirrors on the ceiling and the walls. There are mirrors everywhere that you look. It's hard to know, in fact, where you are and which direction you need to go. But you can see that the path of the glowworms goes through some of the mirrors. You might have to go back and use your senses grounding skills for this one as well, too. But today we are going to work on challenging some negative thoughts. Because as you stand in the room, looking around, trying to find your way out, you notice that the mirrors are, not surprisingly, reflecting you. But it's not the you that you know if you looked in a different mirror. This one is you, but it's a little bit blurry, almost like somebody took water and smeared it across the mirror to blur your image. And as you stand there and look around in maybe horror, maybe confusion, one of the reflections in a tall mirror that stands on the floor in front of you beckons you as if to call you forward. Do you go? Do you roll and see if you can just get out of the room? Do you consult with your team, or do you rush forward? Think about what you would do in this situation. And as you go forward, because you have decided to go forward, the reflection in the mirror seems to say in a voice that is not really your own, but kind of resonates in your ears, like you're hearing it through the bones of your ear, or just it appearing in your mind. It says, "You can't figure this out. You're not going to find the treasure. Who do you think you are?" Maybe it says, "Your friends don't like you. They're only here for the treasure. they don't want to actually hang out with you. And as these words seep into your body and your mind, you realize that you feel heavier and heavier until it feels like you are stuck in place and might not be able to move. But then you hear one of your friends say, one of your adventuring party say behind you, "Don't listen, don't believe them." And you realize it might not be only your friend. The voice seems to be echoing from your head too. And you realize that it's from the part of you that does believe in you, that does believe you will find the treasure, that does believe that your friends want to hang out with you. And so you tap deep into that part and you look your blurred reflection, your distorted reflection in the mirror, in where you think its eye is, and you say, "That's not true. If my friends didn't like me, they wouldn't be here. We all want the treasure, but we more want to spend time together. We've helped each other. I can do this. We can do this." And as your voice begins to get firm and strong, you hear the mirrors begin to shatter with magic one by one. They disappear in puffs, sharp puffs of smoke that sound almost like firecrackers or shattering glass as it surrounds you in the cavern. They dissipate like smoke, and you are left standing, looking at a true reflection of yourself in the one mirror that didn't shatter. The reflection in the mirror drifts apart, and a new reflection appears. This time, it's of a kindly lady who looks like an older lady. She has white hair that's messy and has butterflies flying from it in a glorious burst of color. She's wearing a pinafore dress with pockets everywhere made of patchwork all over the skirt. And she says, "Now you have found the real treasure." And as she gestures along, you see that the path ahead of you is lit up with sunlight, and glitter sparkles from crystals and gold coins, which as you reach for them, you realize the lady is right. That's not the real treasure. The real treasure that you found is how confident you now are in yourself. I know it's a little bit of a cheesy ending to our story, but wasn't going to leave it on a cliffhanger for our last one. If you want to try more of this group, you're welcome to contact us at Lilybrook. I hope that you greatly enjoyed this adventure and that you'll come adventure with me some more. Again, if you'd like to contact us about anything that has been in these videos, you can contact us at 248-250-6620 or contact@lilybrookcs.com. And I hope you enjoy your beautiful, adventurous life.